Most people think creatine is just another fitness supplement, but the moment a single 25-gram serving enters the human body, something so intense happens at the cellular level that it can almost feel like the body is waking up from the inside out. And that shocking transformation is what most people never hear about. The truth is that the very first instant creatine hits your bloodstream, your muscles behave like they've been starving for energy their whole lives, suddenly pulling creatine into their cells like a vacuum because the body knows this compound can produce explosive power in seconds. The surprising part is that your muscles have a limited storage tank called phosphocreatine reserves, and a 25-gram serving rushes to fill that tank far faster than a normal daily dose ever could. It's like plugging your muscles into a power outlet and watching them charge at lightning speed. And although this isn't magic or hype, the feeling inside your body almost mimics a surge of internal electricity as ATP regeneration skyrockets. ATP is the body's main energy currency, and when creatine increases its turnover rate, the result can feel like your physical engine has suddenly doubled its horsepower. Athletes describe the sensation as fuller muscles, sharper contractions, and a dramatic increase in readiness. But you don't need to be an athlete to feel the internal shift, because even a regular person sitting down may notice their muscles feel tighter, warmer, and more pumped than usual. What's truly shocking is how quickly the brain reacts, because creatine doesn't only power physical performance. It rushes into the brain as well, where neurons begin using it for faster energy recycling, leading some people to feel mentally sharper, more awake, and more focused within hours. This explains why researchers studying creatine repeatedly see cognitive improvements in memory tasks, reaction speed, and mental endurance, even in people who don't work out. When your brain gets more energy, everything you do feels easier, lighter, and more effortless. And while most standard creatine doses slowly saturate the system over a week, a full 25-gram serving, especially if taken all at once, hits far more dramatically, giving the body more raw material to store immediately. This level of saturation can make muscles appear noticeably fuller within the same day, almost as if the body is inflating from inside because water follows creatine into the muscle cells, hydrating them and giving them a rounder, denser look. It's not bloating and it's not fat. It's intracellular hydration, the type that signals the body to start building more muscle tissue because swollen cells act like alarm bells telling the body to grow stronger. Many people have no idea that this cell swelling triggers anabolic pathways associated with muscle growth. The same mechanism also increases protein synthesis, which is why athletes use creatine during intense training periods to help their bodies recover quicker and repair muscle fibers at a faster rate. But the story doesn't end with muscles. When creatine enters the bloodstream in a large quantity, the kidneys immediately begin filtering it, which is completely normal, but it can temporarily raise creatinine levels, a breakdown product, making some people falsely assume something is wrong. In reality, for healthy people, it's simply the body processing a large influx of a natural compound. Another thing people never expect is the thermal response. When creatine increases ATP turnover, heat production can rise, causing some people to feel warmer or more energized throughout the day. This sensation isn't dangerous. It's just the body operating at a higher metabolic speed. Some people also notice mild cramping or thirst because creatine pulls water into the muscles, which means hydration becomes more important. There are individuals who may feel stomach discomfort if they take all 25 grams at once, especially without food, because creatine draws water into the intestines as well. But this varies greatly from person to person. Despite these temporary effects, the internal benefits keep unfolding. Inside the muscles, creatine increases calcium sensitivity, making muscle contractions stronger and more efficient. This is why weightlifters report lifting heavier with less effort after saturation. Even endurance athletes benefit, because stronger contractions mean improved running, stride power, and cycling output. The most surprising part for many people is that creatine even influences hormones like IGF-1, which plays a key role in muscle growth. When muscles swell and demand more repair, IGF-1 levels can naturally rise, supporting faster recovery. Inside the brain, creatine continues to support nerve cells, offering increased protection against fatigue-induced mental fog. Researchers are even studying creatine for neuroprotective purposes because brain cells under stress rely heavily on creatine phosphate for survival. So while most people think creatine is only for gym lovers, the truth is that the internal cascade triggered by a single 25-gram serving touches nearly every major system in the body that relies on fast energy turnover. It's not just about lifting weights or sprinting faster. It's about enhancing cellular energy supply everywhere, from muscles to neurons to metabolic organs. And when you understand how the body responds at this microscopic level, the dramatic physical and mental changes people report suddenly make perfect sense. The most unbelievable part is how quickly the body adapts and begins utilizing creatine as if it has been waiting for that surge its entire life. What most people never realize is that once that initial surge of creatine has flooded the muscles and brain, the body begins entering a second phase where deeper physiological shifts start unfolding, and these changes are far more subtle yet far more powerful than what people feel in the first rush. After a single 25-gram serving has been absorbed, the intracellular environment inside the muscles becomes heavily charged with phosphocreatine, and this surplus fuels a dramatic increase in the body's ability to perform rapid bursts of activity. Even if you are not exercising at the moment, your muscle fibers behave as if they are primed and waiting, like coiled springs ready to snap into action. This readiness is a biological state where the muscles operate with improved efficiency, allowing them to generate force faster and recover from contractions more quickly. The fascinating part is how this energy surplus influences the nervous system because the brain begins sending signals more effectively to the muscles, sharpening coordination, reflexes, and overall neuromuscular communication. This is why many people describe a feeling of improved physical control, almost like their body is responding with greater precision and smoothness. Meanwhile, deep within the cells, mitochondria are affected as well because creatine acts as a buffer system that prevents energy crashes during exertion, which means your cells can maintain higher performance levels for longer periods without fatiguing. Even basic daily actions like walking upstairs, carrying groceries, or working at a desk may feel easier simply because the body is better equipped to handle energy demands without dipping into exhaustion. Another unexpected effect is the influence on hydration at a cellular level. When creatine draws water into the muscles, it creates an environment that supports enhanced nutrient delivery. Blood flow increases slightly as the body attempts to shuttle electrolytes and nutrients into these newly hydrated cells, and this improved transport network can make the muscles feel fuller and more alive. The hydration effect also contributes to joint comfort for many users because fuller muscles can help stabilize the joints and distribute mechanical stress more evenly. This is something people often attribute to placebo, but it has a real physiological basis when intracellular water increases. At the same time, creatine saturates tissues in a way that encourages protein repair processes to accelerate. Muscle fibers constantly experience microstress even during daily activities, and the presence of additional phosphocreatine helps cells recover more efficiently by powering the repair machinery responsible for rebuilding tissue. This is one reason creatine is widely studied in the field of rehabilitation and muscle wasting conditions, because improved cellular energy availability supports tissue preservation and regrowth. And while some people worry about the idea of taking a large serving, the body is naturally equipped to process creatine since it already produces it in small amounts through the liver and kidneys. What changes with supplementation is simply the volume available for immediate use. During this second internal phase, individuals may also notice mental benefits becoming more pronounced. Brain cells begin utilizing the extra creatine to stabilize their energy supply, which can prevent dips in mental performance, especially during tasks that require prolonged focus. Many users report feeling more mentally resilient, like they can concentrate longer without drifting or feeling drained. This occurs because neurons rely heavily on ATP during intense thinking and creatine. NE helps replenish ATP much faster than normal. Even emotional stability can feel improved because when the brain is operating with a sufficient energy reserve, stress responses tend to feel less overwhelming. People might feel calmer, more composed, or more capable of handling mentally demanding situations without feeling burned out. Over time, creatine saturation in the brain enhances tasks involving quick decision-making and short-term memory, which is why researchers explore its potential for supporting cognitive function across different age groups. Another layer of change occurs in the metabolic system. Creatine indirectly influences how the body uses fuel, making carbohydrate metabolism more efficient during periods of increased demand. This doesn't mean creatine burns fat or transforms metabolism in unrealistic ways, but it does change how the body manages immediate energy needs. When ATP turnover becomes more efficient, the body doesn't need to rely as heavily on other energy pathways during sudden physical exertion, which can make overall energy management feel more stable. This is why some people experience fewer energy crashes throughout the day, even if they aren't exercising intensely. At the same time, the liver continues processing creatine as part of its natural metabolic cycle, breaking down excess amounts slowly and distributing them where needed. It's a balancing act the body performs instinctively, using what it needs and sending the rest toward excretion over time. One overlooked aspect of creatine saturation is its influence on muscle endurance. People often think creatine only boosts strength and explosive power, but when muscles have greater cellular energy reserves, they fatigue more slowly even in endurance-style activities. A simple task like holding a posture, standing longer, or performing repetitive movements can feel noticeably easier because the muscles recover between contractions at a faster rate. This translates into better stamina and reduced feelings of heaviness or burning during extended activity. Even those who don't train intensely can feel these benefits, especially during long work shifts, daily chores, or active hobbies. Meanwhile, the immune system also receives indirect benefits. Hydrated muscle cells create a healthier internal environment that supports better nutrient absorption, which can help the body maintain strong immunity. While creatine is not an immune booster by itself, improved overall cellular function contributes to better resilience under physical and mental stress. All these internal changes unfolding quietly after a single large serving are what make creatine such a unique compound. It's not a stimulant, and it doesn't create artificial energy highs. Instead, it powers the body from within at the most fundamental level by supporting ATP production, hydration, and cellular efficiency. This deep transformation is why people feel stronger, clearer, and more capable even when they're not actively training. The body simply performs better when it has the energy resources it needs. As the body continues adapting to the surge of creatine stored in the muscles, a third wave of internal changes begins unfolding. And this stage is where many of the long-term benefits start taking shape in ways most people never think about. After the initial energy boost and the deeper cellular optimization, the body enters a stabilization phase where creatine becomes part of the day-to-day rhythm of how your cells operate. This phase feels less dramatic on the surface, but inside, the transformation is still ongoing as your body adjusts to having a dependable and efficient energy reserve. Muscles that once fatigued quickly now function with a smoother, more controlled output because ATP recycling happens continuously without the dips that normally appear during repeated contractions. Even simple activities like bending, standing, walking, or carrying objects feel noticeably more supported because the muscles operate like they have a built-in backup generator that switches on the moment energy demand spikes. This stability is why many people describe feeling physically grounded, as if their body handles daily stress with greater ease and consistency. Meanwhile, at the cellular level, your muscles continue to experience enhanced hydration, which subtly influences how they repair and grow. When cells remain properly hydrated, they send strong anabolic signals that encourage tissue maintenance and reinforcement. This doesn't mean instant muscle size or unrealistic changes, but rather a healthier baseline where your body preserves strength more effectively. Many people who take creatine during intense training periods report experiencing less soreness after workouts, and even without heavy training, the muscles feel more resilient during daily tasks. This resilience occurs because creatine helps power the cellular repair processes responsible for patching micro tears and keeping tissue strong. Over time, this leads to improved durability, which is why athletes and physically active individuals rely on creatine to support long-term performance and recovery. The brain continues benefiting during this phase as well, especially as creatine supports consistent ATP levels in neurons. Unlike stimulants that spike energy temporarily and then drop, creatine provides a stable energy buffer that helps maintain clarity and focus during prolonged mental tasks. People often notice they can stay concentrated longer, think more clearly, and avoid the afternoon fog that typically appears when brain energy dips. This internal steadiness can even influence mood because when mental fatigue is reduced, stress responses naturally feel more manageable. The brain performs best when its energy supply is predictable, and creatine plays a role in maintaining that stability. Certain studies explore these cognitive effects in detail, especially in environments where mental stress is high, showing how essential ATP is for optimal brain function. The nervous system also adjusts during this period because improved neuromuscular communication means that signals travel more efficiently between the brain and muscles. This leads to smoother, more coordinated movement patterns, even in everyday actions. The body begins moving with less hesitation and more flow. Because energy transfer is less restricted. Tasks that once felt like they required extra effort now feel more natural, and reaction speed may feel enhanced simply because communication between nerves and muscles is more efficient. This is one of the most underrated benefits of creatine saturation, and while it may not feel dramatic moment to moment, it influences countless tiny movements throughout the day. Beyond muscle and brain performance, the digestive system also adapts to how the body handles creatine. Once the large initial serving is processed, the digestive tract stabilizes and continues breaking down the remaining creatine gradually, distributing it where needed. Hydration plays a role here as well because increased water demand encourages better fluid intake, which helps support digestion and maintain electrolyte balance. Some people even find their appetite or digestive comfort improves slightly as hydration levels stabilize throughout the day. The kidneys also continue filtering creatine naturally, just as they filter other compounds the body produces, and for healthy individuals, this is simply part of normal metabolic processing. The body uses what it needs and steadily clears what it doesn't, maintaining balance behind the scenes. As creatine continues influencing fuel management, the metabolic system operates with more consistency. The body tends to feel more energetic throughout the day, not because creatine provides energy directly, but because it enhances the efficiency of processes that already produce energy. This means energy crashes become less common, and physical tiredness feels more manageable because the body recovers more quickly from exertion. Even those who live busy, physically demanding lifestyles notice improved endurance because creatine helps buffer the muscles against early fatigue. This buffering effect supports long-term energy availability, making the body feel more capable even during long work hours or continuous activity. Another fascinating adaptation during this phase involves hormone balance, especially the subtle increase in signals related to muscle maintenance. When muscles remain hydrated and charged with phosphocreatine, the body naturally promotes tissue repair and strength preservation. This doesn't cause dramatic hormonal spikes, but it creates a supportive environment where recovery feels smoother and physical stress feels easier to manage. This is why many people using creatine during stressful periods report feeling physically stronger and less worn down. Even lifestyle habits can feel influenced because improved energy consistency often encourages people to move more, stay active longer, and feel motivated throughout the day. When the body performs well, the mind often follows, creating a positive cycle where daily routines feel less exhausting and more achievable. Some people describe this phase as their body settling into a powerful new baseline, where everything just works smoother, faster, and more efficiently without forcing it. What makes this stage so unique is that it marks the point where creatine becomes part of the body's energy identity, Instead of reacting to a sudden increase, the body now functions with a sense of natural enhancement, using creatine as a reliable resource whenever needed. The internal changes may no longer feel dramatic, but they continue shaping how the body performs physically, mentally, and metabolically, creating a state of optimized readiness that many people never experience without proper creatine saturation. As the body fully adapts to the powerful saturation created by a single 25-gram serving of creatine, the final wave of internal transformation begins operating beneath the surface, shaping long-term strength, mental clarity, and overall energy stability in ways that most people never notice consciously but absolutely feel in their daily life. At this stage, the muscles are no longer reacting to creatine as something new or sudden. Instead, they treat it like a dependable reserve they can draw from at any moment, which dramatically changes the way your body handles physical stress. Every muscle fiber, from the tiny stabilizers in your spine to the large power muscles in your legs and back, now has the advantage of immediate access to fast energy. This means that whether you are lifting a heavy object, climbing stairs, engaging in exercise, or simply maintaining posture throughout the day, your body performs with smoother, more confident movement because it knows energy will not run out abruptly. This reservoir of power also contributes to long-term muscle preservation, something especially valuable as people age, because sustained ATP support helps reduce the natural weakening that occurs when cells struggle to produce enough energy on their own. Meanwhile, the brain benefits immensely from this final adaptation stage. With creatine fully saturated in neural tissue, cognitive processes become more consistent, and mental endurance becomes noticeably stronger. Tasks that demand concentration, quick thinking, or problem solving no longer drain the mind as quickly because neurons have the resources to maintain their performance under pressure. This deep cognitive stabilization is subtle but meaningful, creating a sense of mental sharpness, improved reaction time, and a calmer inner environment. Many people find they feel more emotionally balanced during this stage because their brain is no longer fighting to maintain energy levels, allowing thoughts and decisions to flow more smoothly. Even memory, recall, and information processing benefit from this steady state, which is why researchers continue studying creatine not only for athletes but also for students, professionals, and individuals dealing with mental fatigue. Another powerful shift occurs within the endocrine system and overall metabolic balance. When muscles operate more efficiently and recover faster, the body naturally maintains higher levels of physical readiness, which encourages a more active lifestyle. This increased movement influences metabolism positively, allowing the body to regulate energy, blood flow, and nutrient distribution with greater precision. Creatine itself is not a fat burner, but by improving energy management and physical capability, it supports the daily habits that lead to better health, better strength, and better long-term performance. The body essentially enters a more efficient rhythm, where effort is rewarded more quickly, recovery takes less time, and the gap between fatigue and readiness becomes smaller. People often find themselves more motivated to exercise, walk, stretch, or engage in activities they used to avoid simply because they feel more capable. This shift in behavior is one of the most underrated long-term effects of creatine saturation, and it speaks to how deeply the supplement influences both mind and body. Even at rest, the body continues benefiting from smoother ATP recycling, improved cell hydration, and enhanced neuromuscular communication. The small aches that usually appear after minor exertion often fade more quickly, and day-to-day tasks feel less draining. Over time, this leads to a greater sense of physical confidence, where movement feels natural and the body feels equipped to handle challenges. The changes may not be dramatic or flashy, but they accumulate into a stronger, steadier, more resilient version of yourself, all because of a compound the body already produces naturally, but rarely in quantities high enough to reach this deep saturation point. A single 25-gram serving accelerates this journey dramatically, giving the body the raw materials it needs to amaze its systems far faster than gradual dosing ever could. For many people, the surprising long-term benefit is not just more strength or sharper thinking, but the feeling of operating in a state of enhanced stability where stamina, focus, and energy no longer fluctuate wildly throughout the day. And now that you understand everything happening inside the human body from just one serving, here is the moment where you can take action to stay connected, learn more, and continue transforming your health with science-based guidance. If you want more powerful content exactly like this, you need to make sure you never miss our next deep dive video. So take a second right now and hit that subscribe button, because your support pushes us to bring you even more life-changing information. Smash the like button so this video reaches more people who deserve to understand the truth behind their health and performance. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification icon, because the moment our next video comes out, you'll be among the very first to watch it and gain insights that can help you upgrade your body and mind instantly. Staying connected is the only way to keep leveling up, and your engagement helps us keep producing the powerful knowledge that guides you toward becoming the strongest version of yourself.